We are starving the vampires. They continue to think that we are stupid, and so they underestimate us. But see, we know what their game plan is, and we have been reacting accordingly. And I love that. As a community, that entire vibe has spread throughout. And collectively, we are not giving them what they are craving. And it is really fucking them up. Think about it. 400 years of chattel slavery, where they legally could treat us worse than property, subjecting us to all kinds of sadistic and unspeakable treatment. That instilled in their ancestors a hunger for that. And that has been passed down because after chattel slavery supposedly ended, then, of course, we had the domestic terror that they unleashed on us, the lynchings, the racialized violence, the destruction of our communities, like Black Wall Street, like Rosewood. And y'all think that that has just vanished? No, it was passed down to their children. And they still exhibit that hunger to this day. That's why Hollywood, when it comes to subjects about Black life, they really prefer to make Black trauma films and Black slave narratives. Because that's not for us, that's for them to sit and watch and get off on. But see, ever since the election, we have peeped their game. We're on to them. And we've always been so much wiser and far more intelligent that they gave us credit for, which just shows their stupidity and weakness. And so every other group that's been out protesting, because there have been protests, pro-Palestine, immigration, white women. But see, we haven't been out there in mass. That's what they wanted, so that law enforcement can unleash violence. Have you all noticed that with all these protests, the media coverage hasn't nearly been as extensive? The police response has been really mild. A few arrests, but that's about it. And see, us not being out in the street really has thrown them for a loop. And so they said, okay, what we'll do is we will put out this headline that we're going to end the lease early on the Obama library that was moving this year anyway. And we're going to put the Freedom Rise Museum up for sale. We're going to pardon Derek Chauvin. Agent Orange pardoned the January 6th insurrectionist earlier in the year. They probably will say that they're going to cancel Juneteenth. All of this information was released about Dr. King's personal life. And we have just been ignoring all that bullshit. Minding our business, resting, planning. Because see, people confuse rest with being idle. The majority of us are not being idle at all. And what many of us have come to realize is that protesting out in the street with signs is ineffective. What is effective is where we choose to spend our money, our economic power. That's where our strength in terms of protest really lies. As a community, we hold a lot of economic power that they have taken for granted. Oh, well, they're going to get a rude awakening on that front too. Y'all, again, I'm so proud of us. We are starving these vampires like they are being exposed to direct sunlight. And let's just keep it up.
Hello, what's up, fam? How you doing? Hope you're doing super great wherever you are. As you know, this is presenter Jinjuk Stories, and in today's video, just want to take time to thank all Black folks for the stance that they're taking, for the consciousness that Black people are now having is really, really mind-blowing. And they thought that it will be easy, and I think you have tied the knots, and it's so strong to them to the point that they're now getting pissed by your silence. And I've been asking the same question. Now, this is a week still asking the same question because we need to let them that I mean, we need to let this sink in their mind. Why is it that now that black folks are important? I'll keep on asking the same question. Why is it that they are now important? Black folks have been asking for reparations for the longest time, but they didn't answer. But right now, they need black folks like they've stood with them all this long. I'm thankful for all black folks who are staying quiet. I'm thankful for all black folks who are staying quiet because it's important to do this and it's working so well because it's working against them. And while they thought that black people will be triggered by the things they're doing, it's the contrary. They relaxed. This is not their fight. And I think black folks discussed about this. And so I'm so thrilled. I'm so happy to see the diaspora fighting because indeed this was necessary and it is happening at the right time. Because for the longest time, American history, I've never heard about anything to do with black people. For how many times have American government frozen the 1 billion million shillings, the 1 billion USD that was supposed to be given to the black community? They think that black folks forget about history. I don't think black folks forget about history, but I think it's important for us to think about all those things and think about and look about history because history doesn't lie. And it's important for us to, talk about this. It's important. So I want us to watch this video. In as much as we watch this video, it's important for us to hear our brothers and sisters and the encouragement that they're giving us.
The powers that be are trying so desperately to get a reaction out of black people, to get black people riled up, to make them angry. I'm sorry, but it is truly, truly laughable because it's not working. It's like first they, want to get Derek Chauvin pardoned. We don't give a fuck. And then they make this big dramatic scene about tearing up the Black Lives Matter mural. And all I'm thinking to myself when I'm watching that is, that's a lot of fucking money. They could just paint it over this shit. What they don't understand is when we say we're done, we're done. Like, none of that shit is moving us. We cannot be moved at this point. So what y'all should be mad about is they wasting y'all fucking tax dollars to jackhammer that shit up when they could have just repainted it. We gonna be all right. Always have been, always will be.
Hey, good morning, my people. Listen. Couple of things. I don't like really pointing fingers and talking shit to a lot of people, but about politics. That's what I mean to say. But if you voted for Trump, you're stupid. That's that message. That's that. We got that out the way, okay? To my Negroes that voted for Trump. Boy, I tell you, when I tell you, you lay in the bed you made. How about that? To you Hispanic motherfuckers. You lay in the bed you made. Period. To the Democrats, the ones who voted Democrat. Leave that shit alone. The point of this message is this. Why don't we switch? Why don't we switch sides? Why don't we jump on the fucking independent side? I don't really know all the affiliations and all the, I guess, the politics of each branch, whatever. But with as many of us it is out here, we could probably create our own political party and name it something else. Did you know that? Did you possibly know we can all switch sides and rock this whole fucking boat? Damn near tilt it the fuck over. Let's go independent. Why not? Why not? All of us. Let's do it. That's just a thought. If you have to vote for a political party, vote independent. That's what I think. That's just my, because independent seems like you have your own thoughts and agendas. You ain't bound by a whole bunch of people. I ain't never seen an independent president, independent president, or a conservative president, or whatever other parties they have. They got a bunch of them out here. I ain't never seen one of them. Never. Let's put one of them MFs in office and see how this shit shake. Now, I think Cornel West ran for office one time. I knew a couple of sisters that actually tried to run for office out of Texas. And, you know, you didn't hear nothing about them, of course. It's always the Democratic and Republican Party. Since everything is changing anyway, let's change every fucking thing. Since we've changed the way we've moved, we've changed what we've given our attention to support, why don't we switch sides or make our own? And another little fun tidbit, something I've always been saying for the whole fucking duration since I've been alive and been awake. We outnumber everyone, especially here in this nation. We're not the minority, my people. We're not. We never have been. We never have been. So, with all that being said, I'm going to slide to the left and let y'all have it. But my brothers and sisters, if I ran for president, would you vote for me? Because I would show enough, man, listen. Shit, you talking about a bait and switch. Oh, I love all people. I love white people and green people and yellow people. And the blacks as well. But when I tell you every law I created, every executive order I signed will be in favor for us. You ever notice why they keep fighting against reparations, but they got all this money to send to these other countries? Billions and billions and trillions they've given to Ukraine. Billions and trillions they've given to other white countries. But nothing for us. Nothing whatsoever. So, the definition of insanity, what everybody else says, is doing the same thing, expecting different results. That's dumb. That ain't insanity. That's fucking dumb. If you see shit ain't worked, just like this protesting and marching shit ain't never worked, and we're trying something different. We're boycotting everybody and everything. We're supporting all black-owned businesses. And black-owned businesses, I would caution you to get your customer service up right. Since we're doing all of this stuff here, why don't we just change the whole fucking game plan? We have the power to do so. You notice we were drawing our money from everybody, how it's changing the whole thing. It's changing everything because we've decided not to spend with these motherfuckers. Now let's stop supporting these different Republicans and Democrats. And I'm just hell-bent on thinking that some of y'all just like to be humiliated and like to be in the proximity of white folk. It's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. One more message. TikTok. Whoever, Chung Young, whatever your name is, whoever you are that owns this, you're a coward, dude. I swear to God. You're a coward. You're a billionaire. You're a billionaire, bruh. With an app that has surpassed everyone else's in this TikTok app. And you still cater to motherfuckers that hate you. You still cater. But I understand it's about greed and money or whatever. But the ones that are actually making you popular, which is our people, and that's exactly who's doing it. You censor us. Your algorithm, your shit censors us. It does all, bans us, shadow bans, all this other kind of shit. And we're the ones making you money. Well, I tell you, if we left this app, y'all, let's say we did leave this app, but some of y'all are making too much money, I get it. Money motivates, I get it. But if all of us decide to leave this app, wonder where that would be then. Just a little food for thought. Hey, good morning, my people. Listen, let's talk for a minute. The only thing we should be concerned about is our own business, our own black business. The Proud Boys and all these other white militias that are geared up for a race war and waiting for us to, I guess, step out so that they can be unleashed upon us. I'm going to tell you something. The only business we should be minding is our own. The only reason we should come out in droves, in numbers, and in our security detail is when they're harming our people. If they're not fucking with us, don't fuck with them. If they're not harming our people, leave these motherfuckers alone. What y'all didn't know, and I tried to keep a lot of my shit under wraps, is I have about 250 brothers that are a part of my security force, but we need more. Brothers, step up. Step up. We need each other. Let's make this the biggest security force ever. Marcus Garvey amassed a 1 million black man army. Believe it or not, he did. Let's do the same. No nonsense, no bullshit. We are the watchmen, my brothers. We are the watchmen. Stand with us. Hit my inbox. You know what I'm about. You know what I'm about. Step forward, brothers. Step forward, please. We are definitely needed. You get none but love over here with us. Nothing but love. Nothing but love. And you get protection. I call you my brothers because I'll never violate you. I call you my brothers because I'll never betray you. I'll never cross you. I never try to fuck your wife. I never try to do none of that shit. I got one of my own. And a lot of our people are afraid to trust each other because you've been screwed over by so many. We're not built that way. We're not built that way. We believe in loyalty. We believe in honor. We believe in respect for our own. And that's what I'm about. That's what me and my brothers are about. So I'm not the leader of this security force, but you can call me that. But we're all leaders in our own right. And we're all warriors. Arise, warrior. Let that motherfucker wake up in you. Let that animal out the cage in you. Let him out the cage and let him walk back and forth for a little while. He needs to stretch his legs. Let's get together and let's train. Let's put our money together and let's build. Let's put our minds together and let's motherfucking set everything on fire. Not literally, figuratively. You get my point. We're strongest together. We're powerful together, brothers. No one can stop us. No one can stop us. I'm gonna say it again. No one can stop us. You understand? And I need you to know it. I need you to know it. Share this message, share this video. It needs to reach damn near every black man, every black veteran out here. Share this. We are the watchmen, my brothers. Stand toe to toe with your brother. You got me, and I got your back, 100%. But if you're doing harm to our people, you're on your own, period. The Italians were loyal to each other, and they dealt with bullshit that in their ranks between each other. Yeah, they were killing a lot of their own people. They were killing a lot of the people who were disloyal. They sure did. That's what loyalty is. You never go against your family. You never go against your own interest. I'm not gonna say too much because I could. Ashe, my brothers. You know I'm here. Holla at your boy.
My debate or argument today is that DEI, or the opposition to DEI in government and the public sector, is rooted in racist ideologies, and I'm going to tell you why. Diversity, equity, and exclusion, or DEI programs, exist because of systemic racism, discrimination, and the exclusion that has historically shaped our society, especially in the public and government sectors. The idea that DEI is unnecessary or harmful is not even based on facts, but rather the desire to maintain the status quo, which disproportionately benefits white Americans over marginalized communities. Opposing DEI doesn't mean just going against a policy. It means going against correcting historical injustices, leveling the playing field, and creating fair opportunities for all people. In that stance, whether intentional or not, aligns with racist ideologies. The first thing you need to understand about DEI is that it exists to address systemic discrimination. DEI policies were created in response to real documented discrimination. I'm talking in hiring, promotion, education, and public programs. Government agencies and public institutions have a long history in racial bias, from Jim Crow laws to redlining to racial disparities in policing and public funding. If discrimination has historically favored white people, then removing DEI is a direct effort to keep that imbalance in place. Now, if you listen to the right, they'll say, oh, DEI is unnecessary because there's already laws in the books to prevent discrimination. Having laws against discrimination does not mean discrimination stops happening. That's like saying we don't need police because laws already exist against crime. Another thing that bothers me about DEI is that DEI opponents use racist dog whistles. Anti-DEI arguments use coded language to disguise their racial bias. Terms like colorblind or merit-based and woke agenda are used to suggest that any focus on race is unfair, when in reality, the system was never fair to begin with. The Trump administration and far-right politicians target DEI because it challenges white supremacy in government institutions. If you dismantle DEI, what's left? A system that still favors white people while acting like race isn't a factor. That's textbook racism. Now, some folks from the far right in the Trump administration believe that DEI is reverse discrimination because it benefits minorities. If DEI was reverse racism, that would mean that white people were historically oppressed, denied access to education, and locked out of government positions for centuries. That never happened. That's how I know opposition to DEI is about power, not fairness. Historically, when marginalized groups fight for equal access, whether it's in civil rights, voting rights, or DEI programs, there's always backlash from those who benefit from inequality. When people oppose DEI, they're not fighting for fairness. They are fighting to keep a system that benefits white people as a default. If DEI opponents truly believed in fairness, they would advocate for more outreach, more investment in marginalized communities, and more representation. Instead, they advocate to remove these efforts entirely. Now, you can say all you want that DEI lowers standards, but if you go with that thought, you're basically saying that only white men are qualified for positions, and that diversity means hiring less competent people. And that assumption is racist at its core. And this is exactly why I feel like DEI opponents are defending a racist system. DEI does not take opportunities away from anyone. It ensures that opportunities exist for everyone, regardless of race, background, or identity. If someone believes that DEI should be removed, they are advocating for a system that continues to favor white people while ignoring racial disparities. And if you support a system that keeps racial inequality in place, what does that say about your ideology? It's racist, whether you admit it or not.
Remember when I told you that the black voices are important? And, until you miss something is until when you know its importance, because I know for the longest time, when we talk about the black voices, look back at history, talk about the when black people fought for the civil rights movement, when black people walked with placards for everybody. But at the end of the day, they are the ones at the lower ladder, they're the ones that are not being considered. I'm glad that black folks are now knowing their value and they're deciding to keep the value. Because the moment you decide to stay silent, that's when people know your value. At least it's just like food. It's just like water. People take water for granted, but until you start being thirsty, it's until you know the importance of water. But when you have it, you see it like it is just something that it's tasteless. Like I could take juice, I could drink anything and not take the water. So it's important. And these, I think, will be remembered by most of people. The black voices in human history, especially in the United States today, after us seeing all these economic shifts, I think it's important for us to get to know as a black person that your voice is so important. And I honestly don't know who came up with this whole idea, but trust me, it's working. It's working, like, I agree. It's really, really working. So for the longest time, for the longest period, they have been taking black folks for granted. They have been denying black folks their rights. But this is just that time when they now want black folks. How many times have black folks needed help from them? How many times have black folks tried to talk to them? Remember when we say that remaining silent in a situation of injustice, it's a complacent injustice itself. For how many times have white folks been complacent to the things that are happening to black folks. Just because the system is working um, on your side, does it mean that you should stay silent when your brothers and sisters are hurting? Is it right to stay silent when you see your black friend or your black, somebody that you know is your neighbor, is being treated the way they're being treated? I mean, you see, just what you're feeling is just 1% of what black folks have been feeling for the longest time. That's what they have been going through. And one thing that I would like to say is that when I watch this video, when I watch these brothers and sisters trying to share their opinion, it really shows me that there is still hope. There is still hope in brothers and sisters, because I'm seeing our brothers and sisters in the United States asking if they can unify. Because I believe most of black scholars have tried to talk about black unity. They have tried to talk about unification of black people, because this is important. This is important in human history. We all need each other, especially this time. For the longest time, this is the time that black folks cannot afford to be divided. This is the time that they need each other. This is the time that the black voices, it's important. This is the time that you need to stay silent, you need to stay compact, you need to keep in touch, you need to keep tabs with other people who are also black folks or people who are supporting you. And I'm glad that this is the mark of the beginning of a new era of black people. This is a mark of a new era where now they learn and get to know that black voices are important. I feel from these experiences, nobody will want to mess with black folks. Nobody will want to take black people for granted, because all along, while they benefit from the fights of black people, they don't even give credit to begin with, right? And when they give credit, they act like they got it all. They did it for themselves. It's time for black people to reclaim their power by being silent. Silence is the best medicine. Silence avoids you from chaos. When you are silent, it means that your enemy doesn't know your next move. When you are silent, it's hard for somebody to trap you. It's hard for somebody to track you. It's hard for somebody to use your words against you, right? It's hard for them to do that. So I hope and I pray that black folks, we stay connected wherever we are. We stay input, we stay, because this is the time that honestly I believe we need each other. This is the time. So I don't know where you're watching us from, but I'm sorry today I didn't show my voice because of some reasons of where I am. I couldn't do a video. But I hope you're great wherever you are, and have a great weekend wherever you are. I'm trying to learn how to talk outside the camera. That's how I'm having all these difficulties. But at the end of the day, the best thing that has happened is the messages that our brothers and sisters are sharing. That's the most important thing. Let me see you all tomorrow or on Monday. I hope you're best wherever you are and where you're watching us from. This is your presenter, Deconstructing Stories, and I'm hoping to see you in my next video. But until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute. Stay blessed, kings and queens.